What up? What up? What up? What up? What y'all? What y'all? Y'all good? Y'all having a good day? Y'all smooth? We chilling. We chilling today. I ain't. You know, we chilling today. Let's talk about it. I had to get chopped. I'm beat up right now. I had an interview today. You guys, but let's talk about it. Let me get situated. One second. Ah. Cool. I gotta share my screen right quick. Hold on. Can y'all see that? Y'all good. Cool. So, Paulie Malignaggi has ripped into my boy Devin Haney Pauls, but Paulie has been on he's been getting on everybody, as of late. He's been giving everybody kind of flat. And I understand Paulie, and how he feels, but he's been giving everybody flack and or whatnot for some odd reason. But he said that Devin is getting matched up against weaker competition and capitalizing off that, and making a bag. This isn't, and Paulie has been, going at fighters. He was at Tank Nick, the other day, and I talked about it. But now he's on Devin case, and that's understandable, but I feel like, Devin, I feel like Devin being young. Has Devin really, avoided the top competition? Because you can use the excuse, but Tank is the guy who's avoiding top competition. Devin, we fought Kambosos twice. T.O. avoided us. We fought Lomachenko, even though, Loma was actually avoiding us for a while. That's why, Loma became the franchise champion. It was to avoid Devin Haney. He became franchise champion to avoid Devin Haney. And I'm not mad at this. Some guys probably felt like he wasn't, Devin wasn't a big enough name, but, he didn't want to fight Devin Haney when Devin Haney first got, that lightweight scrap. But, Devin fought Ryan. He's been in there with guys. I don't think because Devin makes money, he should be punished, in my opinion. I don't think so. I don't think he should be punished. When it's guys like Canelo and Tank, those guys who really go out their way to not fight the best competition. People have been clamoring for a David Benavidez and Canelo fight for years, and we can't get that fight. Why can't we get that fight? Make it make sense. Why can't we get that fight? I think it's a good fight. The fans want to see it. I want to see it. I think it's good bump. But we're not getting that. So I don't think Devin is robbing the fans or anything like that. We can go look at his resume right quick. Let me go look at his resume. Cool. Share this tab instead. Cool. Can you guys see this? So cool. Like, look, I mean, I'm not mad at this resume. It's not. I've seen worse, and how old is Devin? 26. He's 26. Boots is older than Devin Haney. See, like that's what you guys don't talk about. Boots is older than Devin Haney. But his resume isn't bad for what he was. Ryan Garcia. We lost to Ryan Garcia. Okay, that's understandable. Cool. Beat Regis Progress, a former champion. Lomachenko, former champion. George Kambosos, former champion. Joseph Diaz, former champion. Former champion. I don't like this. I didn't like this win, but nah. But when Devin's 26, I don't think he's just going out of his way to, and he fought Vasily Lomachenko for, undisputed. So yeah, he had a right to be compensated well in that fight. How come? He had he should be able to get compensated well. I don't think he's finessing the fans and hacking them. It ain't like Devin is the biggest star in boxing. He's not. Now, was Devin wrong for trying to get overpaid after coming off a loss? Yeah, he might have been a little wrong, but like I said, you can't tell a guy what he's worth. But I feel like for a tune-up, he wasn't gonna get what he thought he was gonna get for a fight coming over a loss. He just wasn't gonna get that, and I wanted him to understand that he wasn't gonna get that. Like, cool, and yeah, he didn't fight Sandor Martin for 1.75, but he's finna fight somebody better than Sandor Martin and Jose Ramirez, right? Right or wrong, So I'm not defending Devin Haney, but I just feel like this is BS from Paulie, and I feel like Paulie got a little disdain because he was a feather-fisted guy, and it seems like it, because we don't see, can Paulie call out Canelo and the guys that of relevance who really is the people say the face of boxing. Nobody holds him to a standard. Why hasn't he fought in David Benavidez? But you rather fight Jamil Charlo and Edgar Berlanga and give those guys shots to get big money, but David Benavidez can't make big money. Make it make sense, I love Paulie, but it's like, how do you throw JoJo Diaz in there? You talking about JoJo Diaz 29, Gamboa 38, 35. When did Gamboa fight Devin Haney? In 2020. In 2020, so does it have his age? It doesn't have his age on here. So that was 2020. So I'm guessing they saying he's he's 38 now. But when Devin fought him, I mean, nobody was saying Yuriok was Gamboa's when Tank fought him. No disrespect. So yeah, I like Paulie, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit of hating. That's what I think. I think it's a tad bit of hating. Linares was his first really step up fight to see, where he was at, and Linares hurt him in that fight. Regis Progress, don't try to use their excuse on Regis Progress is old. No, don't do that. Vasily Lomachenko. Okay, cool. Let's get into it. Let's get into that. So if Vasily Lomachenko is too old, right? Why is Tank getting a pass and getting caught saying, "Oh yeah, I want to fight Lomachenko," but Devin, who fought this guy in 2023, 2 years ago, they're trying to say, "Oh no." See, y'all really be on BS, and this article is BS. Like you're just spewing out bullshit. Like, yeah, people don't like Devin Haney, yeah, but what has he done that other guys haven't done? We've seen guys manufacture their way their whole career. Because if we being honest, his resume for a 26-year-old is better than some of these guys. That's 30, 32, 29. His resume is better. And he's 26. I feel like we asking for him to have a resume like he's, 32. But he's actually getting things accomplished. So I feel like, this is a tad bit of hate coming from Paulie. This is a tad bit of hate. It looks very fishy. It does. It looks very fishy. I think that's just propaganda that they're trying to push out because, at the time of these fights, two different, Lomachenko, I think he was 33 when this fight. They think Diaz is like, come on, they just pushing out propaganda. Like these guys, I don't think Regis was 35 when they fought. Like, yeah, he's 35 now, but when they fought, no. And Regis, Regis like to say, oh, he was weight journey. Regis has been kicking it at 140 for years. We've been asking for Regis to move up to 47 for years. He been kicking it, trying to wait till these 35-pounders come up, and they finally came up, and he mad. He's mad. I feel like, this is just hate, but you don't throw the Ryan Garcia in there, even though he fought Ryan Garcia. You trying to just disregard that, like, George Kambosos. He fought George Kambosos. Nobody throws it on there. See, I love this. I love this. Sometimes you gotta just point out on, the mistakes that these articles, they make, because they make a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. It's a mistake for him to say this. Whoever wrote this article is a mistake. Okay. Yeah. And on that PBC side, they do have a trend of making, stars, but I just can't say, Haney is a created star. How can you say he's created star? We beat Lomachenko, the god of all gods. You guys try to say top ranked Lomachenko to be the god of gods, and Devin Haney beat him. Tio, the next big thing, next big star, lost to George Kambosos. Devin Haney beat him, So I see what Paulie trying to make sure like he pushes on all of the fighters, but the fighters that he should be saying something about, he's not saying nothing about. Canelo, Tank, the guys that really, screw up the sport, yeah. But we getting a rematch of one of the biggest fights of the year from Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney 2 was the biggest fight, and I was in a barbershop today trying to explain to these guys that I love Bud and I love Canelo, but that might be the biggest fight of the year. The traction that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney built even after the fight, I just I thought it was the biggest thing, and I think it's possibly going to be the biggest thing in the year of this year. So it's not to just knock the Bud and Canelo fight. I just think that Garcia and Haney 2 is a very big thing in the boxing community. But in all honesty, no, I think Devin deserves, the financial, he gets. He was undisputed. He's undisputed champion. Moved up to 40, became champion at 40. I can't say he doesn't deserve, what certain guys get, and they are, half as accomplished as Devin Haney. So I can't just sit here and say he doesn't deserve it. I just can't say that. It's guys with lesser resumes that guys don't say anything about. If you guys are saying, Devin's a creative star, Boots is on pace to be there then. You know, he's 27. He's older than Devin Haney. Boots is 27 years old. Devin is 1 year younger than Boots, but has lapped Boots as far as accolades in the game. Boots only has one title, you know, it's the IBF, but and I'm not knocking Boots at all. I'm just using this as a comparison so you can see, like, he's 27 and Devin is 26, and you know Devin is getting recognized as like an old head in the game because he's been in the game so long. But he's only 26. Only 26 years old. So, you know, I feel like I know it's different strokes with different folks, but I feel like he's getting held to the standard of, you know, a vet in the game. And I feel like he I'm not saying he's green, but he's still young in the game. It's just that these young guys are getting out here and doing things. Like, he's 30. He has a 4-year head start on Devin Haney. But Tank doesn't have undisputed, you know. So I know Paulie thinks Devin is robbing the game, but it's guys out here that's really finessing the game, like really finessing the game, in my opinion. And I just don't think Devin Haney is one of the guys that's finessing the game. That's my personal opinion. I don't think Devin Haney is finessing the game. I think he, you know, yeah, some of the fights, you know, might not have been the fights that you like, but you know, he fought Vasily Lomachenko, he fought Kambosos twice, you know, and Devin been clamoring for that Vasily Lomachenko fight. You know, they had to make Vasily Lomachenko the franchise champion. See, this is why I don't forget anything. You know, they made Loma the franchise champion to keep him away from Devin Haney. And you can say, oh, to me, he didn't win the Lomachenko. To me, he didn't win the Lomachenko fight. The judges gave him the fight. It's not. You're not a judge, Paulie. You're not a judge. You're not a judge, Paulie. So you can't say, you know, to you he won. In the box rig. On box rig, that says, hold on, let me go up. That says UD. That means unanimous decision. It wasn't split. It wasn't one judge had it this way, one judge had it whatever, and one judge had to settle it. No, it was all three judges had them unanimously getting this job done. Tim Cheatham had it 115, 113 for Devin Haney. Dave Meridi 116, 112 for Devin Haney, and Dave Sutherland had it 115, 113. So we're saying all three judges got it wrong, Paulie. All three, like, you know, maybe one gets it wrong here and there, but all three, it wasn't a split decision. It was a unanimous. All three of them agreed on this. So, you know, I feel like Paulie kind of hating here. You know, this is it's kind of a little hating from Paulie, you know, but he's been calling out, you know, fighters of a certain complexion lately, and I think that might stem from AB knocking his gal off. You know, if y'all don't know, AB knocked Paulie gal off. It was my side piece. It was my side piece. It's my side piece. It's my side piece. What up, Mr. Neezy? What up? What you on? You good? But the worst call fight in history, bro. Absolutely. 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 But I feel like, Paulie gets away, with saying things, but I feel like he should be holding other guys. It's other guys, out there that's really, screwing the sport. And I don't think Devin Haney's a guy that's screwing the sport up. That's just my personal opinion. I just don't think so. Like, he's 26. Like, guys don't hit their prime till what, 28ish. So I can't say Devin Haney is just going out his way to, we can't be mad that he's young and going out there. But Ryan Garcia, this is you guys. Okay, Ryan Garcia, we lost. It was a no contest, but we know what happened. Cool. Regis Progress, a former champion. Cool. Ryan Garcia was never champion. Former champion. Former champion. Former champion. Former champion. Former champion. Who else? Okay, cool. But that's when he started getting the big wins. I feel like at 26, he wasn't, going around and, he was doing it the right way. And I think he did the right way. He fought an Ovid and Linares, and I feel like it was a good for him. But a lot of people don't take it the right way and do what they need to do as far as building themselves up. Like, I think he built himself up the right way. I think Joseph Diaz was a good win, We beat George Kambosos twice, and we seen what Kambosos did to T.O. T.O. didn't even want to take the rematch. So, I feel like it's a little bit of hating from Paulie, but I don't think it's guys that's out here robbing the game. And if Devin was, I would say he was, but I don't think he is. You fought the god in Lomachenko, and thank you. I don't think Haney's a duck by any means, because he went out there. He didn't have to fight Ryan Garcia. Went out there and fought Ryan Garcia. Even though he got his ass whooped, he didn't have to fight Ryan Garcia. He didn't. So, I can't agree. I can't agree with this from Paulie Malignaggi. It might look like a little bit of hating. He looked like he might be hating a little bit, but nah, we're not doing that. At 26, and he's about to go, fight the guy who actually beat him, in many people's eyes. Even though the guy was dirty, he's about to go rematch that guy. Come on. How is he robbing the bag? If anything, Devin Haney took the long road. Devin Haney took the long road. He had to go to Mexico, and he wasn't a touted amateur. I feel like he gets a lot of flack because of the relationship with his dad. And people don't like that. I don't know why. Why does a guy having a relationship with his father get under you guys' skin so much? It should not get under you guys' skin the way it does. But it seems to bother you guys a tad bit too much for me. A guy that's, basically just has a good relationship with his father. I don't know what it does to rub you the wrong way. At 26, he's 26, but I feel like the younger guys, Shakur, T.O., those guys, Ryan, I feel like they don't have a problem fighting each other. That's what I think. I don't think those guys have a problem fighting each other. I don't think so. But let me move on. I kind of been on this too long, so it's time to get to the next topic. It's time to get to the next topic. What else do? Glee. About to talk about your boy T-Ho. I don't know if y'all caught that, but y'all. Teofimo Lopez, my boy got 2. He has a mandatory soon. So I want to see what's up. Does he fight this mandatory? Or he do, or drops their belt, because you guys can see that the WO, he must decide whether he will fight the winner of Jack Catterall and Arnold Barboza Jr. That's gonna be a good scrap too. I want to see who's gonna win that scrap. That's gonna be a good scrap between those guys. So I want to see what happens between those guys. I think it's gonna be a good bump for sure. But yeah. So T.O. is supposedly getting a 3-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh, but he has to decide soon whether he wants to keep the title or drop it. So it's definitely it's been potential talks of him and Boost fighting in October. I think that's probably gonna be on the Haney and Garcia 2. Garcia Haney 2. Put my shoe back on, y'all. I had a dress shoe on, y'all. Haney and Garcia 2 card. So, if he's gonna move up, cool. I wouldn't mind if he dropped it. It looked like a duck. It probably would be a duck, but if he's moving up, that's fine. He's already considered and recognized as the lineal champion at 140. So, I don't think he would get a lot of pushback, but it's just depending on if he's going to go up to 47. Because if you drop the belt instead of 40, you're going to look like a coward. You're going to look super soft. He's going to look super soft. He's going to look so soft if he drops the belt and stays at 40. Oh, he's going to look super soft. But if he drops it and goes up to 47, okay, he gets a pass. He gets a pass because, he's moving up to face the best welterweight in the division in Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis is recognized in many people's eyes as the best welterweight, so he wouldn't be getting he wouldn't be getting a lot of flack from that. So, there's that. But the fight between Barboza Jr. and Jack Catterall, either one of those guys can beat T.O. Any one of those guys can beat T.O. He hasn't looked good in his last few. In my opinion, he hasn't looked good in his last few. He's looked pedestrian, and he's been getting a lot of favorable nods because of being who he signed to, top rank. He's getting a lot of nods, a lot of decisions going his way. But in this situation, I think these guys, they're going to make the fight so competitive. It's going to be hard to get a nod. Jack Catterall, I think that's a real tough matchup for T.O. A southpaw is a counter puncher. We see what T.O. does against guys that can box. He struggles. He seems to struggle. Arnold Barboza, a guy with an O, he's not going to want to lose. So, T.O. he's going to be put in a tough situation. He's for sure going to be put in a tough situation. In my opinion, definitely going to be put in a tough situation because it's not going to be no layup. It's definitely not going to be no layup between any guys. But the only way he could possibly keep the title is if he pursued a unification with newly crowned IBF champion Richardson Henderson, and he could possibly pay these guys, pay the winner to step aside for a second, and that could be how he gets through and keeps those titles. But as far as him just the WO's gonna put a deadline on him. So it's T.O. must defend his WBO title against the winner of that fight within 180 days with a deadline of August 14th. It's possible, but he's definitely taking a chance of losing. And if he loses, he don't want to mess up that bag. He got with Boots, because Turkey Al-Sheikh has been real interested in that. He's been flirting with that consistently for a while now. So he really wants that fight for some reason. That Boots and T.O. fight. I don't know Boost is about to fight Stanionis April 12th. So Boost is gonna be free in October. I think he'll be unified, and it'll be a chance for Tio to go grab 2 scraps at welterweight. And if Tio does that, I mean, can we really hate on Tio? If Tio can somehow snatch, if Tio can definitely snatch, a unification, 2 belts at 147, we gotta respect it, because he's unified at 35, lineal champion 40, then he can go unified 47. Even though I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough. Tio will be the only one that did that. As far as in his class, his class. He'll probably be the guy that's leading in his class as far as accomplishment in the game. He might not be getting the financial backing that some of these guys getting, but as far as going to fight the best guys, you got to give Tio that credit, because he's not scared to go in there and get in there, And people might say, it's only been 2 fights, but those 2 fights were very big fights that you just don't see guys go take. Like, he went up and he fought Lomachenko when a lot of people were scared to get in there with Lomachenko, and he capitalized. When Top Rank and Bob was trying to crown Lomachenko very early, but Tio got that done. And then he was underdog, very underdog in that Josh Taylor fight. Got that done. You gotta give him credit, and he can go in there and get this Boost fight somehow done, which I think is unlikely. But if he can somehow get it done, we gotta give Tio credit. We can't hate on Tio. We can't. And I would try my best, try my hardest too, but he can somehow get that done. It's crazy. I can't even lie. Yeah, that would be crazy. Now with the Riches and Hedges situation, that might be his only way he can keep those titles. If he go out there and bang with Riches and Hedges. And that's a fight that he could possibly lose. A natural 140 pounder that can box. He's not gonna just be, he's not gonna just be going out of his way to go fight Richardson. Richardson is at this point in his career, he's high risk, low reward. And I'm pretty sure Tio doesn't want to take a fight like that when he has an opportunity to very find a big fight with Jaron Ennis. So he's gonna be they're gonna be careful. I don't think they're gonna be. I think he might vacate. That's my opinion. I think he might vacate. That's just what I honestly think. Because Barboza and Catterall are 2 guys that could beat him. I might, it's not no layup fights for him. I think those 2 guys could possibly get him out of there. And I'm not saying stop him, but beat him. And Top Rank has been doing. You got to give them credit. They've been doing a marvelous job at matchmaking him. And they haven't even been. They still been having a tad bit of trouble, even though the matchmaking has been beautiful. He's still So, the judges have to give him a few nods. Like, Jermaine Ortiz, I thought Jermaine Ortiz got the nod in it. A lot of people thought Sandor Martin did enough. And a lot of people thought Sandor Martin did enough. Like, you get nods in these fights, but in these type of fights, they're not going to give you the nod because, you the house fighter. These guys have a lot of money put behind them too. So, that's why you see him strategically, not fighting certain like Sabril Matisse, and you see him because it's a chance Tio could lose, and he doesn't want to lose to a guy that shouldn't be considered on his level. Losing to a Jaron Ennis, it wouldn't hurt Tio at all, and that's probably why I think he's interested in doing that. It wouldn't hurt him at all because he would be moving up another division to fight the best welterweight. That Tio know he's going to be the underdog in this situation, so he's not going to have anything that he's not going to have any expectations. He's not going to have any expectations going into that type of fight. It's going to be looked at Boots to go out there and really get the job done against TL. And TL is just gonna be upset minded. So, I can see, TL right now. I can see him, I can see him possibly vacating those titles. I can see that. I can see him, vacating that title. You don't want to go out there and lose. Both of these guys are still hungry. Catterall, that one loss to Josh Taylor. Please, you guys do not let that change your idea of Jack Catterall. He was robbed that fight. And I love Josh Taylor. I was a Josh Taylor guy. I like Josh Taylor, but he was robbed there. Josh Taylor was not supposed to get the nod in that. He was not supposed to get the nod in that fight. That's just my honest opinion. He was not supposed to get the nod. He wasn't. He wasn't supposed to get the nod in that fight, but he did. I don't know why. It was because Josh was, the house fighter at the time, and they robbed Jack Carter. So please don't disregard this one. We're not gonna see T.O. just go out his way to fight that guy. On either one of these guys could possibly give T.O. run for his money. T.O. struggled with a guy Steve could get. So we can't think these guys won't give him trouble. George Kambosos beat T.O. And T.O.'s not a true 40-pounder. He's really a 35. These guys are true 40s. These are true 40-pounders. They really cut a lot of weight to get to 40. T.O. isn't a true 40-pounder, in my opinion. He comes from lightweight. Now, at this point, I guess you could consider him. I mean, he's been fighting it, but you can tell just as far as the size, his arms are so short compared to, these 40-pounders are huge. So I want to see, him trying to go up there and fight Boots, a guy who, a huge guy. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I do not know. I think it's gonna be a very tough situation for him. It's gonna be a. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. But I'm trying to fix something. But yeah, I just think he would be putting himself in a tough situation. So I want to see what he does. In my personal opinion, I think he might vacate that scrap. But if he does, he does fight him, commend him. But it's a chance he could possibly lose. But I don't think he would mess up his bag if he did lose. Turkey Al-Sheikh has made it known that he wants guys to fight the best, and he's trying to get the zero out of boxing. Guys having an O and going out their way to not fight the best guys. I mean, I can't be mad at I can't be mad at it. So I want to see. I think it's a possibility. If he I think he's gonna try to work around it. But if he vacates and he doesn't go fight Boots next, it's gonna look crazy. But if he can fight Richardson Hitchison next, or try to unify with him, I think he would get a pass out of this mandatory. But he'll be taking a risk. You're taking a risk giving that young guy a shot. See, look, he's like, if T.O. gets blanketed in a one-sided defeat, he would be useless to Turkey against a fight, and ends on his October. Yup. Yeah, he's had 4 terrible performances. Steve could get Jermaine Ortiz, Sandor Martin, but he had to, Josh Taylor, he came in and performed well. So who knows, if the light's bright, T.O. could come out and perform. Probably not though, probably not. But those 2 fights he did, I think. But stylistically, Josh Taylor was a style that T.O. could, take advantage of. Loma, I still gave him credit for the Loma fight, although Loma, Shoulder was messed up, banged up. That's on Loma for taking the fight. You know, you shouldn't have been in there knowing you're not healthy enough to get in there. So, you know, I'm not gonna hold Tio account. Not accountable for that. I'm not gonna hold him accountable for Loma getting in there not healthy. I'm not gonna do that. That was Tio deserved that win. He got that win, so I got to give him credit for that win. So, but if he does lose. And I do think Hitchison is a bad matchup for him, being that, Hitchison is, tall, natural 140 pounder that can box. It comes from, he was in the Olympics. He fought for, I think I want to say Haiti. He fought for Haiti. So, I'm not going to just sit here and say that, he can get it done. I don't know. I don't know, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But you see see what he thinks. Does Turkey really change his mind? I don't know. I would, Turkey. He's been saying that the losses doesn't matter, but if you want to sell a fight, both one guy losing and already being a heavy underdog, it doesn't sell well because he's the underdog in this situation. He's the underdog. He's not going to be looked to win this fight. But he's, especially if he's already coming off a loss. So, that's where I can see it being issues. I wouldn't mind saying Boost, but I would, if he's gonna have to fight somebody soon. So shout out to the WBO. It's not letting him just hold his title hostage. If he doesn't want to unify, fight your mandatory. And I see, Eddie Hearn. Look, Eddie Hearn is trying to get this guy a fight. Eddie Hearn is trying to get this guy a fight. See, and Hearn might be, he might got a chance right because Okay, so look, Tio reportedly signed a 3-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh for these 3 bouts. If he fights Richardson Hitchison, this is a high chance he could lose. Very high chance he could lose. So I'm thinking they'll do that when, I don't know, because Jane is gonna fight in April against Stanionis for the unification fight. They're trying to do that in October. So if Hitchison and him could fight, that might be the only way the WBO allows Tio not to fight their Minotaur. And if he fights his Minotaur, he unifies, then he goes up to 47, and I think they wouldn't give him a hard time because of the 2 fights he's taking. It wouldn't be too it would be too tough. So if he beat Richardson Hitch, he could just drop the belts and just go up to 47, and it's just all cool. But Richardson Hitch, it's not a layup. It's definitely not a layup. We seen how Tio looks against guys that could box. We've seen it. We've seen him in there with guys that could box. It's Tio doesn't have the feet and the pure boxing skills. Tio relies on a lot of athleticism and things like that to get by. And I think in a fight with Richardson Hitchens, it would be a boxing match, and Tio would have to box. So I would have to see how he looks, in a boxing match. That's just what I think, and I think it'll be tough. I do think it'll be tough, but I want to see. I think it'll be 2 bangers. I think that if he can get this 3-fight deal done, and it's been rumored, Bob talked about it, I won't be mad. Hopefully he can get the financial, reward he's really looking for, and it's out there for him. But now it's no excuse for him. If the money's here, it's no excuse for because that's the reason we don't get Tio versus Devin. Tio wants outlandish money, and he's He's a known, guy that it's hard to, work with. So I want to see, I think all three of these, he could lose. In all honesty, in all three of these, he could lose. Richardson Hitchens could whoop him, Jerry Ennis whoop him, Ryan could whoop him, and Devin could whoop him. And the loser might whoop him. So, that's what I think. But let's move on, we didn't get T.O. enough. We didn't get T.O. enough. So let's move on. Ryan Garcia finally enrolls in Vada. Ryan Garcia finally enrolls in Vada. That was my last little topic, I've been up since, early morning, so I told you I had to come hop on live. Brody told me to hop on live. And I was like, bet. Hey, Tommy, I might have to make Tommy a mod, y'all. Tommy, how do you feel about being a mod? I'm probably going to, 5 mods. Mr. Neezy, you're going to be one. Tommy's always in my live, so, I'm going to definitely make him a mod. Shout out to Tommy, man. You always pull up and show love. I gotta mess with Tommy. If I ever start, letting subscribers come up here, Tommy, you might be the first one. You and Mr. Needs, I'm gonna let y'all up here and we can chop it up for sure. But everybody else, I don't know. I mess with Tommy though. Tommy always pulls up. Tommy, I wonder what Tommy's from. I gotta find out what Tommy's from. But Ryan Garcia enrolls in Vada testing. I told you he would eventually because that was the only reason. Them consider. He wanted Ryan to enroll in Vada, and here's news. It's against his tune-up against Rolly. They're calling Rolly a warm-up fight. If y'all seen some of this spawn with Rolly, Rolly actually thinks he has a chance against Ryan Garcia. Hate to break it to you guys. Rolly actually thinks he has a full-fledged chance against Ryan Garcia. He do. He thinks he has a complete chance. He thinks he's going to be the guy to get it done. And I don't agree with it, but, he thinks so. I mean, he thinks so. That's why he took the fight. But, Devin and Bill, they've been clamoring for Vada. They want that fight to be clean. They want a clean a first shake. They didn't get a first shake in that first fight. I'll be honest, they didn't. A lot of people are not gonna say that. They're not gonna say that. But I'll say that. They didn't get a first shake. They, it wasn't a level playing field. Ryan was hot and he was overweight, so it wasn't a first shake. But now with this, they'll be able to track his Vada and see, see, look, they talking about Devin if he gets destroyed by Jose Ramirez, Ramirez he's tough, he's a true 40-pounder, and he was champion, but it's a chance, Ramirez could get him. He has Ramirez has a nice left hook, so and Ramirez. He's technically he's not the best boxer, but he has technical skills, so he could give Devin some trouble. A lot of people don't really like Devin. I was in a barbershop, my boy T called Devin basic. I'm like, oh no, I don't think he's basic. He lost. That fight to Ryan. He lost, but I don't think he's basic. I think he's all right. They I love talking to just people who don't watch. T's a guy that follow boxing a tad bit. He's more, I wouldn't call him, he follows it more than a casual fan would. So, T seen T called the Bud beating before anybody. So he's seen the flaws in Spence, before, a lot of people, and he was one of the first guys that I was talking to, him and Buck. Where y'all don't know these guys, but they were like, Bud was gonna, put hands on Spence, and they were avidly believing it. They just, but Devin has been given an undercard slot on Turkey. Yeah. Oh yeah. I know that's gonna hurt Devin. You know, being the undercard and and being demoted. You know, it's. But it happens. You know, I if he loses, I think if he loses to Ramirez, which it's not just a guarantee he gets the job done against Jose Ramirez. Ramirez could be tough. These aren't, just easy tune-ups they're taking. Rolly actually thinks he has a shot against Ryan Garcia. He actually does, you guys. So these not, and Jose Ramirez was a former champion at 140. So, even though he ducked Regis Prograis, I feel like he ducked Regis Prograis, and I don't know why he ducked Regis Prograis, but he did. But I think he definitely can make it competitive against Devin. But I think Devin's going to be laser focused, and we'll get probably the best Devin Haney, because if he does lose, he knows that what he's making now is going to be pennies. It's going to be pennies compared to what he's getting now if he keeps losing. So we'll see him bounce, because 2 straight losses, even though the fight got ruled to a no contest, people still recognize it as a loss. So if he doesn't get it done, against Ramirez, fans are gonna be ready to wrap him up. They're gonna be ready to hang him up and let him go, which I don't think it should be cool for him to get let go, just so quick. But yeah, they're gonna be ready to wrap him up and get rid of him. But see, see a lot of these 40 pounders, they talking about going up to fight Boots. Everybody want to go up to fight Boots. They feel like Boots is the guy at 47, and I just don't feel like it. I don't know. Ryan could come up against Jen in February 2026. Well, I'll just have to see it. It was supposed to be Garcia versus Pitbull, but Pitbull, he has a fight February 1st. See, it was on box rig, but Rolly is familiar. But uh. if y'all seen this sparring, Rolly actually think he's gonna, and I think far as the promotion, it'll be Rolly is known. He fought Javante Pitbull. These guys is more talented than Rolly, but I think a lot of people don't understand when I say you gotta have a personality, and Rolly has a personality. He has a personality in the game. He does, so we would be getting it, and Rolly's gonna think he's actually has a chance. He only has 2 losses to Pitbull and Tank. He robbed Ismael Barrios though. He robbed this guy. This guy whooped him. So don't he really supposed to have 3 losses. This guy whooped him. And this is an older guy, but I think in my opinion, but I just feel like technically, Rolly doesn't have the technical skills like Ryan Garcia. That's sparring is different. It's a referee that's gonna call break if you guys grab too much. So, I think Jose Ramirez would definitely be the more tougher situation, in my opinion. I do think so. I think Jose Ramirez would be the tougher situation because former champion, this fought at high levels, got in there with Josh Taylor. He's been in high level fights. I think he could prove way difficult, way more difficult than a Rolly, in my opinion, at this point. So, that's what I think. But like Rolly strictly has a puncher's chance, against Ryan. And if he can hurt Ryan, we don't know, because Ryan may be, because in that sparring, Ryan looked like a little like he was scared of Rolly, but this is a boxing fight, so there's 2 different things. This is I think Ryan is smart because he knows Rolly is going to be able to talk trash and talk a little shit, and it's gonna sell to the fans. So, you know, and it's a backstory of those guys sparring. So, you know, I think that's what he's leaning on. But, you know, as far as those guys tuning up, I think both guys, you know, I want to see both guys win because I don't know. I don't want any, you know, trouble as far as the fight coming in October. I don't want guys to, oh, they lost, or, you know, one guy lost, or, you know, I don't want either guy to lose because I want it to be both guys have gained some confidence and knocked the rust off going into their, you know, rematch. And me personally, I told you guys how I feel. I feel like it was the biggest fight last year. And it has potential to be a bigger fight this year. And a lot of people might say, oh, but what about Canelo and Bud? I was telling those guys at the barbershop this morning, man, I'm like, bro, I love Bud personally. You know, I think Bud is a good fighter, you know, and I want him to win. But when we get to talking about weight classes, you know, weight classes are there for a reason. You know, it's there for a reason. And I think we shouldn't just be disregarding the weight classes. You know, I know Crawford isn't going to be worried about what they got rehydrates to and, you know, all of that, but that guy could come in there at 200 pounds. Like, you know, Amir Khan said when they was fighting at 55, he thought Canelo was like 190 in there. So him at 68, what do we think he's going to weigh? You know, so that's kind of why I feel like that Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney fight was, you know, but besides, you know, Brian popping hot, I thought it was the more competitive fight between two guys. It's just what I think personally. You know, I don't think I'm wrong. That's just what I think. You know, yeah, but as far as Rolly, I think Rolly only has a puncher chance. So Ryan should get this done. You know, they got Martin Bacoli versus if Ajagba was supposed to be the next guy, but I don't know what happened. You know, I don't think it's a fight that they should, you know, I don't think it's going to be a fight that they should struggle with. I think that, you know, Devin should get the job done and Ryan should get the job done. You know, I'm glad that, you know, Ryan has actually got in Vada because, you know, he tried to make you guys think that he wasn't going to get in it, but I told you guys that I'm pretty sure Devin Haney only agreed to the fight, you know, the rematch and to drop the lawsuit was because, you know, he wanted the rematch and he knew that Ryan Garcia was going to get involved. So that was probably his, you know, non-negotiables. Like, you know, kind of like how Ryan Garcia non-negotiable was, I'm not fighting the guy until he drops the lawsuit. You know, both guys probably had non-negotiables and, you know, those had to get reached, you know, those things had to get done for this rematch to matriculate. So that's what I think. You know, I'm definitely gonna be excited. You know, that's pretty much all I gotta talk about today. I didn't want to be on here too long today. I've been busy. I've been ripping and running all morning. I'm exhausted. So, you know, let me check something out. It's what did I want? I wanted to talk about one more thing. I want to talk about one more thing. It wasn't. It was kind of on the same topic. It was on the same topic. It was. It was on the same topic. It wasn't nothing too crazy. If yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So if if Ryan Garcia tests clean the for the rest of the year and he has no mishaps and drug happening or anything, he passes all of his tests. Devin Haney, if he loses again, there's gonna be no excuse from him. And that's gonna be, a tough pill to swallow if he, because Devin, he could blame, and us as media, we could possibly put the blame on, Devin Ryan Garcia being hot. But if Ryan Garcia isn't hot for this second fight and he goes out and beat Devin Haney, you have to give, Devin Haney has to give him his flowers and have to give him, you might have to say he's better than you. and that might be a tough pick. But if Devin beats him, it lines up a big money rematch for the trilogy. I think the trilogy, would do numbers just like I think the trilogy would do numbers. So I think the trash talk would actually be better. So I want Devin to understand now if Ryan beats you fair and square, he's on Vada, and if he passes all of his tests, he doesn't pop hot at any moment, it's gonna be a tough situation. So I want to see how does he respond to that. If Ryan goes through and he passes all his tests, it's gonna be no excuse for Devin Haney. So I'm gonna be the first to I'm not gonna give him an excuse. I'm gonna let him know, but I'm out of here, you guys. I'm about to wrap it up. I didn't pretty much talked about everything I want to talk about, for this live. Probably gonna drop some videos later on tonight for you guys. I'm probably gonna take a little nap right quick. I'm exhausted, but I love you guys, man. Shout out to y'all for putting up, supporting me. I love you guys so much, so much, so much. I'm forever grateful that you guys support me. So thankful. Shout out to y'all. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. Hit the subscribe button if you're here. I'm gonna leave it live up so you guys, if everybody want to come back and watch it, you can always come back and watch it if you missed something. We got in here late, so make sure y'all hit that subscribe button and turn the post notifications on so y'all can find me. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I'm out.